Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to my team reveal. Now, there's a bit going on. It's been a big week of videos. It's all happening. Footy's back. It's great to see. And I've been tinkering and I just don't know how I feel. I really don't know how I feel. I've made a number of changes, probably 2 or 3, somewhat major ones. So let's have a look. It starts with the back line. Now, as you'll see, I just had no confidence in these defensive rookies. So I've just landed with Highmore and Kazitsky. A lot of doubt over whether Jones will play and that type of thing. And I must say off the top, there might be some changes in terms of rookies to this side. But I just made about 10 minutes ago a fairly significant change to my forward line that might raise a couple of eyebrows. We'll just see. But I felt that we just couldn't expose too many rookies down back. So I chopped Clayton Oliver. I chopped him. One of my absolute faves. I just had... Look, he is expensive, and I just had the little bit of a concern about, he had general soreness in the Pracky game. Why was that? Is he hasn't had a perfect preseason, but if you're picking him, I couldn't argue with you. So I just felt at the end of the day, it came down to playing Clayton Oliver and a defensive rookie, or, a Tom Stewart, who's coming to my side. Versus, as you'll see, with some changes in the forward line, that sort of, it basically came down to a defensive rookie. But because I moved Dangerfield into the middle, which has pulled a couple of levers. But I'm pretty happy with Sam Berry. I'd like to see the overall team, and some people will get a chuckle out of that because I had no idea who the prick was a couple of weeks ago on my live session. I've kept Zach Williams. Braden Campbell, Tom Powell. The decision to also drop Tom Green is one that doesn't sit well with me, but basically these moves, particularly the Green one, has been surrounded by the fact that I just didn't want to start Joey Danaher. I ummed and ahed about Dom Tyson, but just didn't have the faith in him with Jed Anderson, Cunnington and Dumont coming back to the team at some point. So I ummed and ahed, and at the end of the day, I just felt that Tom Green, as good as I think he's going to be, I just couldn't start Danaher. And why, you ask? Look, it's going to be pouring rain on Saturday, and then he comes down to the Cattery in round 2, which I rarely see a key forward dominate the Cats' defence in Geelong. And you might think, Shorty, that's such a short-term view, but we need our mid-price guys and rookie types to get off the flyers, I'd be shocked if he scores more than 70 in the pouring rain on the weekend. And it just didn't sit well with me, the fact that I felt that he probably wouldn't get a decent run at it until round 3. So, look, I'll show you what I've done. The suspense is over. So, Green came out, Danaher came out, and Jordan De Goey came in. Now, I love the fact that he did get a fair bit of midfield time, and all the talk is that he's going to continue to get that. Taylor Adams is in the team, and he still is named in that midfield group. And not just named, but the talk is pure midfield. So it's a risk. And at the end of the day, Tom Green versus Jordan De Goey, it just sort of came down to who do I think could score more, as it always does. And I think Tom Green maybe just pips him. But who's a better chance to be a keeper at the end of the year? Jordan De Goey is. And that's just a fact that Tom Green's not going to be a top 8, top 10 midfielder. But De Goey, things going right, he could definitely be a top 8 forward just because our forwards are so weak. So that's how I'm going. These rookies, Flynn came into the side. I think he's definitely a must-have. Scott came into the team. But I do have 40k in the bank that I can sort of manoeuvre around if I were to maybe just change up a few rookies and that type of thing. So, yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know if it sits well with me, all this. I felt like I was fairly pleased with my side a couple of weeks ago and just a couple of bits and pieces. I don't know. I'm not stoked with the final product. I think it's a decent starting block, but yeah, I think I've got a really good amount of rookies in here. We've still got to see if all of them get named and that type of thing. There's a couple of selections that, yeah, they could go okay, but they don't sit amazing with me. That forward line has changed a lot. you know, obviously Dangerfield, he'll come back into that forward line at some stage throughout the year, but that was just, you know, what it came down to. And, you know, the midfield's slightly weaker, a bit of pressure on Simpkin at M5 now, and an extra rookie exposed on the field. But, look, I just felt that you couldn't expose too many down back. And, yeah, that was... I mean, look, I can swing Jordan Clark in there if I need a little bit more coverage. Well, I can't swing him. I don't have a dual position player, but you never know. If we randomly get a defensive rookie that seems confident in, I could last minute switch things up before we get locked out and whatnot. But yeah, that's my side. That's how we're going to go in. There will be, you know, maybe a couple of tweaks in terms of rookies as we continue to get these sides named. So let me know what you think. Let me know how your team's going. I don't know. So much work goes into it. I just feel as if you wish you could feel it was perfect, but it's hard to know what perfect looks like. And, you know, there's a few bits and pieces that I just hope work out. You know, a couple of maybe rolling the dice moments that I just hope come up nicely for me. So we'll see how we go. But thanks again for everything throughout the preseason and all your support. It's been fantastic. Lots of videos, lots of subscribers. So if you haven't jumped on board already, I'd love you to. But either way, if you're watching this video, that's about all I can ask. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a good weekend, both in footy and just life in general. But I'll chat to you guys soon. Cheers.